After dinner, I'm walking back to my room with Ellen and Virginia when I notice a small box sitting in front of the door. Another box? Ellen asks. Oh, not again, Virginia sighs. She pulls back a foot to kick the offending object, then pauses. Hey, Tori, this one's for you. Me. I peer down at the box. Sure enough, it says, To Tori, in flowing letters. Nothing about who sent it. Is this another one of Donald's tricks? Why would he send it to me? I don't know why anyone would send me a present, but I don't know why anyone would send me a prank either. Let's see what it is, I say as I pick it up. It's too heavy for clothing, and I hunt around the box for an opening. Finally, I see a little tab. If I pull this here, then... Oh! I exclaim as the lid pops open. It's a pie! Cool! Virginia cheers. A golden, flaky pastry lattice covers a filling of spiced fruit. Probably apple. But how did it get here? Ellen asks. Some upperclassmen must have brought it from the festival, I guess, I say with a shrug. Ooh, maybe it's from William, Virginia suggests. Why would he be sending Tori a pie? Ellen huffs, crossing her arms over her chest. An election warm-up gift? Virginia offers. He would probably have left a note if it were him, I say, thinking it over. Maybe it was Isabel taking pity on us poor freshmen. Do we have a fridge or anything? Nope, Virginia says with a wicked grin. You're just going to have to eat it. You can't eat a whole pie, Ellen exclaims. Of course not, I say with a shake of my head. We'll share. Let's go back to the cafeteria and find some plates and forks. Woo! Virginia cheers. I'm not sure, Ellen says hesitantly. I don't know if I like apple pie. I've never eaten it. What? Virginia looks aghast. How can you never had apple pie? That's like a requirement of American culture. Aren't you supposed to be from which culture? I tease. I'm American first, Virginia insists. I grew up here just as much as you guys did, you know. Anyway, if you aren't sure, this is the perfect time to try some, right? I ask as I turn back to Ellen. If you don't like it, Virginia will eat your share. You bet, Virginia says with a wink. We head to the cafeteria and split the pie amongst the three of us. And, as I suspected, it was delicious. I sleep through most of Sunday, trying to starve off my sugar coma, but I awaken early Monday morning to a sharp rap on the door. Miss Brown, if you please. Stepping outside, I spot Professor Grabiner and clutch protectively at my robes. I'm just out of bed and feeling vulnerable. I was not expecting to be facing him this early in the morning. Good morning, sir. He quirks an eyebrow at me. Is there a problem? I hesitate, not sure what to say. No. He sighs and hands me a folder bulging with papers. The label on it reads Election Protocol. You will review these documents and meet me after class today to discuss your campaign strategy. He grins. Unless you'd prefer to forfeit now and save us both the trouble. I just shake my head. It's too early for me to come up with a witty retort. No, sir. Very well then, good day to you. He turns on his heel and heads down the hall without another word. How much strategy is involved in this election anyway? I suppose I'll find out this afternoon. First, I have to decide on my schedule for the week. I want to take more blue magic, but I know that Professor Potsdam wants me to experiment with other magics, so I take red magic twice this week in order to continue having classes with Professor Grabiner. After class, I arrive at the empty conference room and take a seat spreading out the folder's worth of papers in front of me. The elections are held on Friday afternoon. Before then, I have to decide on a campaign slogan, do promotions, and write a speech to convince people to vote for me. Considering it's already Monday afternoon, that's not much time. I'm still not entirely sure what the class treasurer does. Usually that means organizing fundraisers, but I haven't heard about any of those here yet. Anyway, most fundraiser money comes from parents, but since this is a boarding school, our parents aren't here to get money from. Maybe that's the point. Maybe, as the treasurer, I'm supposed to think of some creative ways to get around the problems with raising money for a tiny school that's kind of isolated. Oh, someone's coming. Professor Grabiner enters the room. Would it be too much to hope that you have already made your decisions? He asks. Just a minute, a voice calls from the hallway as William enters the room. Sorry to burst in, sir. I promised my sister I'd serve as Tori's campaign manager. You don't have to stay. I know how much work you have to do. I can talk her through the steps and deliver the requisitions to you later. Is this what you want, Miss Brown? Professor Grabiner asks as he turns back to me, and I hesitate for a moment as I glance between them. Actually, sir, I would prefer to work with you. William looks absolutely stunned, but Professor Grabiner's expression is completely impassive. And why is that? His tone gives nothing away. Well, with all due respect, this isn't Virginia's campaign. Or William's, either. If I'm going to hold a class office, I should do it on my own merits, my own decisions. Interesting, Professor Grabiner says at length. However, a leader is wise to take advantage of the resources made available to her. I'm hoping to benefit from your wisdom and experience, sir, I reply as I beam up at him. He chuckles a bit at that. Well, I suppose I'll be on my way then, William says as he winks at me and makes his exit. Well then, Professor Grabiner says as he turns back to me. As you should already be aware, what I need from you at this point is a decision about the theme elements of your campaign. It is traditional for candidates to adopt a ludicrous nickname in the hopes of associating positive virtues with themselves and the voters' minds. This slogan and associated imagery will be used to design any marketing materials you requisition. The school will create and reproduce these items for you. Have you decided on such a name? I pause as I try to conjure up the most ridiculous name I can think of on the spot. I think I should be known as Lady Lampshade Head, I offer, and Professor Grabiner falters. Lady Lampshade? Well, all campaign nicknames are ridiculous, right? And I can't see how they would actually make a difference. Nobody votes for someone just because he's called Stan the Man instead of Grand Stan. Professor Grabiner snorts with amusement. Perhaps you overestimate the intelligence of the average student. Maybe, I say with a shrug of my shoulders, but I'd rather go with an obvious joke than tear myself up trying to find the perfect name. And if everyone else is being serious, it will stand out. Interesting. He writes something down in his book. The other issue you must decide now is what marketing materials you wish to order. While the school will acquire these items for you, you must bear the cost from your own pocket. Virginia never told me this was going to cost money. They are a waste of resources, of course, but they are traditional. Tradition can be the deciding factor. I remember reading about this in the booklet. I could decide between posters and paper badges, which were each $5. Standard cupcakes cost $30, but that was literally all the money I had on me. Customized cupcakes were $90, which was way more than I could afford. I decided to purchase just the posters and paper badges for a total of $10. Very well, Professor Grabiner says as I hand over the money. The supplies will be delivered to your room in the morning. Good day, Miss Brown. As he had said, the campaign materials arrive first thing in the morning. I have a stack of 6 posters, each one saying, Lady Lampshade head for treasurer. Vote for Tori Brown. We'll need to find some places around campus to tape these up. I have a collection of green paper lampshades, each with Tori Brown for treasurer written on them in gold ink, and straightening pins for fastening them to robes. We'll have to find somewhere high traffic to hand these out. Okay, are we ready? Virginia asks. I suppose, Ellen sighs. How do I look? I ask them. Do I look okay? I want to make a good impression. Virginia puts her hands on her hips. I mean, you can always put a lampshade on your head and walk around the quad. That'll attract some attention. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, though. I was thinking about dyeing my hair, I say as I turn around to face myself in the full-length mirror behind the door. I asked William about it last night. I needed a little help with the green magic part to make it permanent, but I already learned the blue magic spell to do it a while ago. I just haven't decided if I really want to do it yet. You totally should, Virginia says excitedly. That'll make you stand out for sure. Ellen seems much more hesitant. What color do you want to make it? I used Kool-Aid to dye my hair red when I was younger, I explain. I liked that, but I always wanted to dye my hair blue. Just a shade or two darker than my eyes, I think. Go for it then, Virginia goads. Let's see how it looks. Here we go. I point a finger at my hair and watch as the blonde ends slowly start to get darker. I feel like I am losing control of the magic as my hair turns black, and for a moment, I am staring at myself in the mirror with hair that was way too dark for my complexion. Now I really did look like a real witch, but I also didn't look anything like myself. I take a deep breath and focus. The pitch eventually surrenders to a deep purple, then an off-putting red and purple hue, before it finally resolves into blue. Focusing on that, I managed to make it a light turquoise before I make it darker and darker until it was just a shade or two richer than navy. How does it look? I ask as I turn back to them. Do you think this will make me stand out? Or will it make me look too weird? We go to school with people who have real wings, Virginia reminds me. You won't be that weird with blue hair. Trust me. She has a point, Ellen admits with a soft smile. It does match your eyes quite nicely. Okay, I say with a grin as I look back at myself in the mirror. I feel more like myself, like a happier, more confident Tori. Then let's go win an election. Go Team Tori! Virginia cheers, and together we make our way out of Horse Hall and head towards the quad. Ellen, Virginia, and I spend the next hour catching passers-by, introducing me as a candidate, and giving them my badges to wear. I get 1 or 2 funny looks about the lampshades. Clearly, my campaign is original. This is a good way to get my name out there, but it's tiring and boring. At least I got several compliments on my hair. Even if I don't win the election, I was being noticed, and that felt like a victory in itself.